Good morning. This is RCB News, and I am Ryan Bowler. I want to get right down to the news at hand. Before I read a portion of this article in the Daily Wire, I'm just to let you guys know that certain words and terminology I'm going to be omitting, so to keep from getting censored. So if you want to read the entire article, you can see it in the description box below. I have it in the description box below, and you can read the entire article. But it will be in reference to a particular singer or a particular musician whose song shot to #1 and all over the country, and that his song has long since been censored on YouTube. So I'm going to read a portion of this article, and then I'm going to give my opinion on free speech and how our free speech is under attack and what we can do to overcome that, as far as I'm concerned. Okay. So I'm going to read a portion of this article, and we're going to go from there. The article is entitled "Censored. Only one side has free speech." Rapper Bryson Gray, whose hit song blank blank has been banned from multiple platforms, said on Tuesday that free speech in the United States only exists for one side. These were his words. Gray appeared on the Blaze conservative commentary and radio host Glenn Beck's radio show to discuss his song's success, topping iTunes' ranking for most downloaded songs on Sunday, despite being pulled from platforms such as YouTube and Instagram. Gray's song is named after a chant that gained popularity after a reporter misheard a crowd chanting blank, blank, blank. You know what I'm talking about. Is there something that's changing in America, Beck asked the artist. I do think it's changing, but I think if we actually started paying attention more, it could change faster in a positive light, Gray said. There's obviously something changing in a negative way to where, if you want to be honest in this country, we like to say we're all free, but in reality, in the public space, only one side has free speech. They can say whatever they want about Jesus and get away with it. They can literally do whatever they want. Meanwhile, we can't even question, make a joke. Then we're banned on platforms if we do that, Greg continued. But the good side of it is, if you see what happened to this song, it shot up to #1. But I do not think I would be #1 if they didn't ban it. So that's a positive side to it. The only problem with that is if we do that for like a week or two and then we go back to normal, he said. And if you actually listen to the lyrics in my song, my whole point was that it's time for us to like stand up and stop allowing and succumbing to what's going on in this country. Gray said that conservatives are making up ground in the culture war, noting that multiple certain songs with that title have made it to iTunes top rankings. Songs with that title are the top and second most downloaded songs on iTunes, according to Pop Vortex. It's a culture war right now, and the left has had the grip on the culture war for so long, Gray said. I don't know if you saw, but some website wrote an article and said, I can't believe this moronic song passed Adele. And then at the end of the article, it said Adele, whatever this person's name, Adele, Adele, will be back #1 by the morning. This is just some MAGA cult nonsense, blah, 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 blah. Now, that was yesterday, and this is the morning currently, and she has actually dropped to #3 behind another song with that title. Gray announced on Sunday that his song was pulled from Instagram. Last week, YouTube pulled his song off the platform, citing medical misinformation. And I'm going to stop right there on that article, and you can read the rest of that article in the description box below. But he is absolutely right. We are in the midst of a culture war. But the good thing about it, and I agree with what he said, the good thing about it is that people are waking up. It's not over until it's over. And the more people wake up, the more people are aware of what's going on, the more people are aware that our free speech is being attacked, then the more people will wake up to the reality that, hey, something's not right here. We should have a right to express our opinions, and you don't have to agree with my opinion, and I don't have to agree with your opinion. But that's what free speech is all about. And you have to ask the question, why is free speech being attacked? Because, as I always say, there is an agenda, a Marxist agenda, to attack free speech. And this is one of the things that the Marxist communists did in former countries like China and Russia and other countries where the communist insurgents took over. One of the things that they would attack was free speech. The purpose was to destroy all dissenting voices that disagree with the government's agenda. And in those countries, if you disagree with the government's agenda, you were jailed and sometimes killed simply by just disagreeing or speaking against what they were doing. In America, we're still relatively free. Our free speech is under attack. But from as far as I know, unless I'm wrong, correct me in the box. If I'm wrong, correct me, let me know, that we are not being hauled off to jail or put at the firing range and shot up simply because we disagree with something that the government is doing. Or we disagree with this group or we disagree with that group. That's part of free speech. And the more people understand that their free speech is being under attack, regardless of which side you're on, you could be a liberal or conservative, or you could be neither one. You could be a centrist. It doesn't even matter. You could be a libertarian. It doesn't matter what particular political ideology you have. If your eyes are open and your mind are open, you will realize and understand that if you say anything against the far leftist agenda, that you will be attacked. They will attack your free speech. And it's clear that this song was removed simply because medical misinformation. I'm not going to even get into that because this video might end up getting pulled. But the point is that our free speech is under attack. But it's good news is the more we keep talking about it, the more we keep revealing that as American citizens, regardless of your ethnicity, regardless of your political affiliation, or regardless of whatever class you in, you have the right to express your opinions. And as long as you're not trying to incite violence or anything like that, you have the right to express your opinions. That's all about free speech. And we as Americans, regardless of your political affiliation, need to love America enough and love the Constitution and the Bill of Rights enough to understand what it is that we're being attacked. If we know these things, see, knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. And unfortunately, a lot of people in America don't know their constitutional rights. They don't know the Bill of Rights. They don't know what's under attack. They have no idea that their free speech is under attack. Their freedom of religion is under attack. Their freedom to own a gun is under attack. They have no idea that these type of freedoms that was given to us by the founding fathers is under attack. And when you have no knowledge of that, there's a reason for that. There's a reason why people don't have this knowledge of the Constitution and knowledge of basic civics and knowledge of the Bill of Rights, because a lot of these teachings were taken out of the school systems. They used to be taught all the time in the early history of America, but they were removed by far leftist liberals who began to take over the court systems and take over the school systems and take over politics. And then when they took over the politics, took over the school systems, and took over the courts and so forth, they began to initiate and create laws that were conducive to their agenda. And anything that was opposite of that, they had to remove it. And freedom of speech, possessing a gun, freedom of religion are all opposite of the communist agenda. So anything that's opposite of the communist agenda, they got to get rid of it. And that's what's happening right now. But good news, and thanks be to God, that more and more people are waking up. And what I'm finding out as I'm observing and listening more and more now is that people on the left as well as the right are starting to wake up and see what's going on. Everybody should have a freedom of speech. Everybody should have a right to express their opinions, regardless of whether or not you like it or not. It's okay. And like he said in the video, and I totally agree with him. It's okay for those on the left to say whatever they want to say. They can ridicule Jesus Christ. They can mock him. They can ridicule heterosexuals. They can do all these things and say all these things, and it's okay. But anytime someone say anything about or crack a joke about their side, then they get upset and want to protest and want to demonize your character and all this type of stuff. Clearly, there's an agenda. But the more and more people see the agenda being created, the more and more people will wake up out of their matrix, and out of the matrix that I believe has been created for us by the mainstream media. The more and more people wake up from that matrix, more and more people will say, hey, wait a minute, there's something we need to do. We need to fight against this. We need to first educate ourselves on the Constitution and educate ourselves on the Bill of Rights and educate ourselves on the basics of civics and American government so that we know we're fighting against. You can't fight against something that you don't know about. And unfortunately, in my previous video, I talked about how I believe so many Americans are under mind control. Part of that mind control is based on a lack of knowledge of what you should know, and your mind's being pumped with propaganda. The things that you should know has been removed, and the things that the liberal left and the far leftist elitists want you to know is being pumped in your brain through propaganda. So no wonder so many people are living in the matrix. No wonder so many people are ignorant of history and ignorant of this of the civics and government, and ignorant of the Bill of Rights and ignorant of the Constitution, because all these things have been removed and propaganda have been created to replace it. But thankfully, as the brother said, more and more people are waking up. So let's hope and pray that more and more people continue to reveal and expose what's going on. As he mentioned earlier, several other songs have shot to #1, replacing a prominent musical artist, popular pop musical artist. I don't know, because I don't listen to these people's music, but evidently this individual's song went to #3, and someone else's song based on the same title shot to #1 and took it over. So what is that telling you? I'm pretty sure that this is not just conservatives listening to this. If there's over 300 million people in this country, now let's say out of the 300 million people that, I don't know what, 200 million is working adults. And out of that 200 million working adults, it's comprised of both conservatives and liberals. But let's assume out of that 200 million composed of both liberals and conservatives, that the liberals start seeing, or the Democrats, or whatever you want to call them, start seeing, hey, wait a minute, our free speech is under attack. You got to understand, all liberals don't think the same. All conservatives don't think the same. All liberals are not in support of attacking free speech. Some liberals just want to be left alone. They cool. They don't have no problem. They open-minded. They willing to just say, okay, hey, it's not, you see, it's all about communist insurgency. It's all about the Marxist attempt to create a quiet revolution, as one writer said, a quiet revolution to destroy America from within, not with guns, but to destroy America from within, as the young brother said, in terms of a culture war. And we are involved in a culture war, and a war based on misinformation, disinformation, and propaganda. But the more people wake up, the more they will come to the light. The more they will come to the light, and the easier it will become to fight this battle. So thank you all. If you guys have anything to say, leave your comments in the comment section below. Do you agree with this, young man? Do you disagree? What do you think about this song? What do you think about people's eyes opening up to the realities that our free speech is being attacked? Give your words in the comment box below. If you like this video, press the like button, share this video, and subscribe to this channel. God bless you all, and see you again on RCB News.